Good morning, YouTube. It's Jeff from the Woods Trucker channel. We're out here, me and Zilla, doing another morning walk. This time we got a little road walking to do before we get to our destination. Alright, back at you in a few. Alright, YouTube. Nice Sunday morning for a stroll. Zilla and I are out. We are actually pretty near, not too far from our house, out for a stroll. We have been given access to this old farm on this old road. Kind of sits on top of a hill, surrounded by a wooded area, which makes it real nice for a quick get out and do a brisk. You could do a whole loop of about maybe 2.5 miles or so, which I'm pressed for time this morning, so 2.5 miles is about all I'm going to be able to do. So I will bring you along with us as we go. And there's an old cool farmhouse up here I want everybody to take a look at, so I'll bring you back when we get close to that. Alright, YouTube, Woods Trucker out. Alright, so once again, good morning, and here we are. We're out on this hill. You can see there's a trail down there that comes up here. I haven't, so I'm working on that. There's an old gentleman who farms all of this area back in here, and he keeps it nice for the owners who are living halfway across the country. So by his good deeds, I have been allowed to come back into this area to walk my dog, and I've never actually been over in this part, so it's a first for both of us. Alright, okay, YouTube. Okay, we are at the high point of this area. See the views, quite nice. I've never been up here. Alright. There's still some residual snow up this way, even though it was like in the upper 40s yesterday, and today it's going to be close to 50 again. Still some snow residing. It feels like spring rather than the beginning of February here in northern West Virginia. Nonetheless, down here you see it is fully melted. The Greyhound is not cooperating with me today. This old lab that runs the area up here. That old lab's gotten loose on multiple occasions and ended up in my yard. So I figure it won't be a big deal if we come over into his yard for a bit. Okay, back at YouTube. Come on. Here's this old farmhouse from the side. Gosh, I don't know how old that thing is, but it's pretty old. When I first saw it, I thought, wow, that's pretty neat. But try to get around the front here. My dog cooperates. I'm kind of curious about being back in here. There's been a lot of oil and gas activity. We are in the heart of the Marcellus Shale region, and it hasn't always been pretty. Our tranquil neighborhood has been overrun by large trucks and heavy machinery and going around the corners. Dangerous situations to drive in, but I was hoping this place back here has been left untouched by all of it, and so far it seems like it has. So I'm going to take you around here, try to get a front view if my dog will cooperate. Alright, YouTube. Just going to give you a brief look down here, and then we are going to turn around, head down into the farm area. Here we go. Again, here's this old farmhouse from a more frontal view. Alright, YouTube. I normally don't come over this way, but my neighbor told me that no one's living back in the cottage back there right now, so I feel somewhat comfortable with that. Although they are building a house, someone's building a house on this new access road that comes back to this farm, and he was out on his porch tying his tie, I suppose, getting ready for church, and I don't anticipate that being a problem, but as again, like I said, I've been given permission to access this area. So what we have to do here is we have to pass these farm buildings, and then we'll come up to an area, and it goes back into a trail that they've cut to maintain the power lines, and well, you'll see. Alright, YouTube, I'll bring you back when we see something more interesting. My dog is out of practice. He hasn't been out on a walk in a little while. He keeps wanting to cross in front of me instead of heel by my side, which he normally does. Kind of getting agitating, but he hasn't been out for probably a good month and a half. Been pretty busy. I coach wrestling at the local middle school where I work, and it's been a long wrestling season, and I just have not had the time to get out. Most of my weekends have been taken at tournaments and whatnot, and this is really, I've been really looking forward to getting out and doing this. So hopefully I can catch most of it on film. My intentions are to come up here, down in the woods a little bit, and stop, maybe make up something to eat. I'm not sure yet. Right now I'm just happy to be out. Here's the cutback that we take. Never really been back in here completely back in here in the dead of winter. So that would be interesting. Alright. Anyways, I believe these trails are maintained for access to the power lines, but for me, it's nice to get back in here and see, you know, get off the roads with the dog. It looks like they've really clear-cut this area down here. Like I said, we are in the Marcellus Shale region, and they're fracking. There's at least 2 pads, well pads, within 1 mile to 2 miles of my house. And like I said, the changes have been rather drastic over the last couple years. My little town, there was about 9,000 people that lived here when we first moved in about 5 years ago. And now you see Walmart parking lots full, and all kinds of people that are coming in from the outside area, which is fine by me since I'm in from the outside area for different reasons. And it's good for local business. And they finally built a Taco Bell in town, which has been really nice. And they're putting up some hotels between where I live in my town and the town where my wife and I work. But my question is, how long is this going to last? What's going to become of those hotels and those businesses when the wells dry up and they're no longer pumping the shale and doing the fracking? You know, now we're going to have empty buildings standing. So I guess that's the price you pay for progress and jobs. I know this area of West Virginia is badly in need of work and jobs. Just wish it was a more permanent industry. But there's 2 sides to every coin. You know, 2 sides to every coin, and you know, you have to weigh your options, I suppose. I am come down on the side of not for fracking, just because of the concerns of the damage to the environment, etc. That's not to say that any of that stuff will ever happen, but it has been talked about and discussed and on the various news outlets, and supposedly people in Pennsylvania not too far from us could turn on their water and light it on fire from the gas. But all I'm going to say on that issue is, you know, we drink bottled water exclusively in our house. Alright, YouTube, with that thought, I got to orienteer myself. It seems like our continuing trail has been moved. So I'll be back at you when we see something a little bit better. YouTube, that's new this year, is we had a trail that we would come down off of where those power lines are, and there was a Jeep trail that wandered around in that woods down there. I'm not sure if it's coming up on camera. It wandered around in that woods, and you pop on an area that was like a shallow bowl, and you'd wrap around this hollow, and you'd come up there on the other side of where the power lines are, but it was all woods in between. And now, this year, they've clear-cut this whole area, which I think definitely detracts from its beauty. It once was a quiet stroll, and I think what we're doing is we're coming up on the old area that used to pop out of the trail into this shallow bowl area, which was a place that I thought about camping this summer, doing some stealth camping this summer. But now, geez, they've just taken all the cover out with all the tree cutting. See, now we're in this area where the shallow bowl is, but that, where I just came from, was all wooded. It was all wooded, and now it is trimmed, supposedly, I guess, for the power lines. Maybe they're going to run a gas line through there. We got pipelines running everywhere in this area. There's one that runs down behind my house, where I have Camp H. If you drop down, it drops down about, I don't know, 500-700 foot, and there's a pipeline down there that they put in the last 2 summers ago. Boy, that was a summer of all kinds of activity. Helicopters flying overhead at low elevation. Chainsaws going on all weekend, all week. Luckily, And that was a time when they were building the wells, and it was semis going down my country road all hours of the night, which was a huge contrast from when we first moved here, and it was quiet all the time. Now the latest thing is they have big fluorescent lights on the wellhead that can be seen from my back porch, and it used to be a dark night sky, and you could see all the stars. Now I feel like I'm back in the city, which I tried to escape from 5 years ago. Nonetheless, progress. Okay, YouTube, Zilla and I, we are back on what we know that has not been changed. This little Jeep trail running through the woods, and I don't know if this will pick up on the camera, but there's the ridge that runs around in a half circle. It kind of gives us the farm where we first started out on is up there on that ridge, and this, like I said, this whole area used to be like this, but now it's been clear cut. And you know, I don't mean to be negative on this YouTube, but I'm just really shocked at, over the course of one season, how much this landscape down in here has changed. And I hope that it doesn't change anymore, because I will be out of a place close by my home to come and do this sort of thing. Alright, YouTube, back at you soon. Alright, YouTube, so for all in all, we are back into the area where I originally discovered back here. Should have seen the humongous buck I saw back here the first time I came back in here. Now we have all kinds of deer that hang out in our yard, but they're all does. And I'm not a hunter, so you know, I think they're beautiful to watch, and you know, like to see them hanging around and whatnot. And I don't have any flowers that I really care that much about if they eat up. But never seen a buck down by my house until I came down back in here, and I believe that was about the second biggest buck I've ever seen, and you can tell he's made it to a pretty good old age. But anyways, back to the original point. All in all, it looks like the only detour that we had to make on this little trip is where they cut the power lines. Everything else seems to be intact. As of right now, I don't see any construction activity on any gas lines, which is what I was kind of had that in the back of my head for a question. But anyways, I think where we are at, and I'm trying to get a good view out over here eventually. I believe that if I could somehow stealth hike, I could walk from this ridge and hill down and eventually end up in the Erie or the Ohio Islands Wildlife Refuge, which you saw in my last videos. To get there from my house, you do have to take roads, and it's about, I don't know, 3-4 miles from my house. Here, it's a more direct route, obviously, crossing the terrain, and I don't think I could get away with it because there are no trespassing signs up here all over the place. But if I could, then I would, and it would make probably about, I don't know, probably about a 5-mile one-way hike, which would be real nice for a whole day. Get down to the Ohio Islands area, make lunch, and head on back up. Now the rest of the way back up would be all uphill, steep uphill, but nonetheless, that would be something I'd have to get myself in shape for, obviously. So, all right, YouTube, let me scout around this area, look for a place to set down. Back at you. Signs, people. Signs. Can't escape them. I don't know if that shows up. No trespassing, hunting, or fishing. Alright, I don't plan on doing anything. Not sure where you would fish here, but nonetheless, you could hunt, but I don't do that, so that sign means nothing to me other than stay the hell out. So that's what we'll be doing. Staying the hell out. Alright, YouTube. Excuse me, YouTube. Sil and I have made a spot. Nothing fancy. Boiling up some water. Using the Toke 700 without handles. I think that was a mistake to get no handles. But I had a different setup in mind. But using one of those cheap Chinese pocket rocket type stoves from China that work just fine. Boiling up, excuse me, boiling up some Mountain House rice and chicken. Feed Zilla and myself this morning. And then I give you a look around. I just have a tarp down. We're just going to relax. I give you a look around. There's a nice rock formation over there. And I'm not sure how much power I have left in this camera. It kind of blipped out on my way down here, but you can see we got quite a bit of a drop off down there. And let me see if I can get a view over here. It goes down into the holler quite a ways there. Over there, nice rock formation coming off with some ice coming off of it. Alright, YouTube, I'm going to go over here and tend to Zilla. He's kind of wondering what the heck is coming off. So, until later, I'll hopefully be able to get a capture of me eating some of this Mountain House. I haven't had the rice and chicken, but if I have camera problems, this might be it. So, we'll be trekking back to the house here in about a half hour. So if I don't come back at you, YouTube, from the woods of West Virginia, you have a great, awesome weekend. Take care. Woods Trekker out. Okay, YouTube. I am just relaxing, and the sun's starting to poke above the trees. And boy, oh boy, it is just beautiful. I finally got Zilla to lay down and relax on the bed, on the tarp here. He's been standing up the whole time. One thing about sighthounds is you can't let them off leash, because if they see something, they will run after it, and at 40 miles an hour, you won't catch them. This one here has been an awesome dog, but he does not know recall, and nor would I trust him if he did know recall, because once again, even though Zilla's prey drive isn't super high, if he sees something running, he's likely to go after it. So, anyways, I have him, I have a long rope, a leash for him tied to a tree, so he can have some freedom of movement while we're sitting here in camp, but yet I'm not worried about him running off. So, alright, YouTube. Again, I think my camera's working, but I'm not exactly sure. So, back at you later. Alright, YouTube, here goes nothing. There's a bowl for Zilla. Here's mine. I don't know why Zilla won't go over there and eat, but anyways, that's the conclusion of our day. Meal is ready. All that's left is to pack up and head back home. So, sayonara. Alright, YouTube, Jeff at Woods Trekker channel, coming back at you as Zilla and I hike out of our little area where we made camp and some lunch. All in all, it's a pretty good day. Pretty good day indeed. We're going to take a slightly different way back, but ultimately we'll end up at the farmhouses and the farm road, heading back towards the main road and ultimately to my house. One thing I did learn is if Zilla and I take longer trips, I'm not even going to try to feed him out of a bowl. One of the ex-racing greyhound idiosyncrasies is that they're afraid of normal things. So the red bowl was different from his stainless steel bowl at home, and he would not eat In fact, he got a little bit spooked and tried to run a little bit and got tangled up in the cord I had him tied up to, but all is well. Once I dumped the food on the ground, he gladly partook of said food, and I just came back on because I wanted to give you this view. This is the view as we head back into the Jeep Trail, and there's Zilla, star of the show. But look at this. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick up that, but that's the Ohio River, and you can see the highway on the other side of the river, and oh, it's gorgeous view, absolutely gorgeous view. You know, I complain about the clear cutting and the pipelines, but on the whole of things in the city, I would have never had a view like this within 1.5 miles of my house. Absolutely stunning. The sun's coming out. It's turning out to be a beautiful day. Alright, on that, YouTube, this is a final shout out to everybody. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, all of those good things. Woodstrekker, out.